I'm so excited to introduce our guest today. It is the incredible Naomi Girma. After graduating from Stanford, Naomi was the first overall pick in the NWSL draft. She went on to win Rookie of the Year in 2022, plus Defender of the Year in 2022 and 2023. Naomi was also named the 2023 U.S. Soccer Female Player of the Year at just 23 years old. This summer, Naomi was one of the best players in the entire Olympics tournament, leading Team USA to a gold medal. She's currently playing in the NWSL for the San Diego Wave. Naomi, welcome to the women's game.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to have you. It's so good to be with you. So I know that you were born in the Bay Area. I know that you went to Stanford, but now you find yourself in SoCal with San Diego. So I have to ask the hard question, NorCal or SoCal?
Such a hard question. I feel like because I'm here right now, I have to say SoCal. Just because I've been living here for 3 years now and it's so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard to pick, and I feel like it feels wrong to say that, but yeah, I'll go with SoCal for now.
I know, I hear you. That's very loyal to where you're at. I also just want to tell you, everybody that I talk to speaks so highly of. I know we didn't really play together that much on the national team, but I feel like I know you because just all my friends speak about you with so much respect and reverence, and I just want to know how you keep yourself grounded and true to yourself, true to your values all the time through all the ups and downs of professional soccer in a way that makes everybody just love you so much.
Oh, that's so sweet. I will say that I feel like I hear very similar things about you too from everyone on the national team, even though we didn't cross over. But really I mean, nice. I think playing on, with the US, there's just there's that culture of always wanting to get better, always reaching for more. And I think getting into that so early in my career was really helpful because there's always that mentality of never being satisfied, getting better each day, being intense in training every day. And I think that getting introduced to that so early in my career really helped me because I always know there's more for me, there's more for the team, there's more I can do to help. So I think that culture and that mentality being ingrained in me is what just motivates me to keep going.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, I think that culture of the national team can also be a really difficult space to be in sometimes. And to hear directly from you that pushing for more and striving to be better actually sounds like it brings out the best in you is such an incredible thing to hear. And I want to talk about, you recently started a mental health program called Create the Space. It's an initiative that's aiming to reshape the relationship between mental health in soccer and was born partly out of the loss of your friend and Stanford teammate Katie Meyer, who tragically took her own life in 2022. I know that earlier this year you hosted a 3-day retreat with players from across the NWSL in San Diego. So I want to hear a little bit about how it went and what you took away from that.
Yeah, it was such an incredible experience. I was one, just happy to know people wanted to come and wanted to be a part of it. And then two, was just so happy with how it went. And I think it was just so special to have that shared space for all of us playing in the NWSL and just talking about, life as a professional athlete, all of the struggles that we go through. And also just being there to uplift each other. Even now, whenever I play against someone who was at the retreat, I feel like it's so fun. We get to catch up. We know each other so well now. And I think, we don't always see each other on that human level, especially with opponents, but even with teammates, I think there's just that transactional aspect of professional sports. And I think it can be really hard. So just to kind of break that barrier down and really just learn different ways to support ourselves, support our teammates was really impactful. And I think one thing that I really loved about it was we also had youth coaches there from all of the NWSL markets. So we were able to connect with different community orgs and learn about what they're doing to help kids and learn about, how we can support their organizations and how they're supporting their kids' mental health. So it was really cool coming together of a lot of really special people.
That's amazing. I'm so grateful that you, somebody who is so widely respected, have not to use the term, but created the space for those kinds of conversations and things to be exchanged. I think I found in my own retirement journey that I felt really alone. But when I opened up about what I was feeling and when I kind of was a little bit vulnerable and shared it, so many other people felt the same way that I did, and kind of just creating that area where people can be vulnerable and almost just like admit what they're feeling. It makes you feel more connected. So I'm just really, really glad to hear that you're a part of making the NWSL a better place for players' mental health. It's incredible to see the league continue to grow in that way. I want to talk about the U.S. Women's National Team. This summer's tournament was your first Olympic. So I want to hear about what it was like going into another world tournament right after what must have been a disappointing 2023 World Cup. Like, how did you get your mind around another big tournament?
Yeah, I think it felt like it came very quickly. And I think, in that time, we had a lot of changes within the national team, and there was a lot of learning, there was a lot of adjustments. And I think, one thing we did like from the start was like, okay, we're all just going to buy in because we don't have enough time to ease into transition. It just kind of had to be like full go. Like we kind of have to lean into this. So I think like just leaning in and learning and like trying to get better as a team really made the transition smoother. And I think helped us just like attack the tournament, I guess, and not feel like, we were just like rebounding from the World Cup. It felt like this is a new tournament for us to make our mark as a new team and really just show the world who we are. So I think that mentality really helped us go into it and not, feel fearful of messing up or not getting as far as we're expected to. I think we just kind of left all of that at the door and we're just like, we're here and we're going to do our best. And it worked out.
Was the arrival of Emma Hayes, new manager, just weeks really before the tournament started, was her arrival, do you think, a part of that mentality? Did she speak about that with you guys?
Yeah, I think it came in very quickly and, set like there's so many things about the U.S. Women's National Team that have made it great for so long, and you were a big part of that, and so many players have been such a big part of that. And I think one thing that makes the national team so special is that like that core and like that mentality has stayed throughout it. So I think it was like leaning in and like keeping hold of what makes us great, and then also developing and tactically and, just kind of developing our game in a different way. So I think she really like came in and was like, we're going to hold on to this and we're also going to grow in this way. And I think having it laid out to us like that made it feel like, like, okay, yes, I understand. I can see how this adjustment is going to go. And I think it made the transition really smooth.
I feel like that sounds like she had a really clear idea of what she wanted to do and what type of leader she wanted to be. How would you describe Emma as a leader and a coach?
I would say she's strong. Yes, I feel like she's fun.
I love that for you guys.
She's very like driven and clear, but she's also like empathetic and understands like the human side of the game and the human side of being in a tournament and being away from your family and how that can affect people. So I think she was like a great leader for us in that tournament. And I think it wasn't easy for her either. She came in at a difficult time too. So I think we both kind of like met each other in the middle, and it made it work really well.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we'll get more into this, but I want to know if there's one thing in particular, like a tactical adjustment or maybe just a piece of advice that Emma has given you that has made you go like, oh my gosh, that is next level. That's going to help me right away. I
guess I would say like she immediately came in and like believed in me to like be a leader on the team. And I think I felt that from last year and from the World Cup and like from getting more experience with the team. But I think to have a coach come in and like tell you that they believe in you and believe that you have the ability to be a leader just like makes you feel like, okay, I can do this, and makes you really like work on that and want to develop those skills. So I think her coming in and kind of like sitting me down and like telling me that right away helped me go into the Olympics.
Yeah, it just gives you such a sense of confidence that you're doing something right, you're aligned with the coach, and that you can kind of trust yourself. I've had an experience similar to that. You were incredible all tournament, Naomi. Like, you are
Thank you.
So fun to watch. I think in my new role as a fan, I feel so safe with you and Alyssa in the back. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going to be totally fine. You're a true leader. You make tackles when needed in the rare moments that the opponents broke down our defense. And then you also had an absurd number of passes in the Japan quarterfinal game. I don't know if you're aware of this as the tournament is going on, but like Twitter is losing its mind. You had 105 passes in just the first half, which is an astronomical number at this level. When you think about your role on the team, do you think it's your defensive presence or your ability to start the attack with possession that's like more valuable?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I consider both to be my job as a defender. Okay. So I think, defensively, like, obviously that's why I'm there. And then also, like, when we're attacking, just, like, being the one to kind of, like, set the pace, set the tone, to take a breath when we need it. I think I can do that a lot of times. And then also to, like, accelerate the attack when we need it. So, yeah, I think both are equally important. Yeah, I don't know which one.
Very well-rounded. Very great answer. You played so many minutes at the Olympics, every single minute for the U.S. teams. That's 600 minutes in 6 games with all the extra time. How did you manage that load physically and mentally? How did you get up for each and every game with such quick turnarounds?
I don't know. I feel like I just kind of was like, all right, well, we have a game in 2 days, so, like, here we go. Like, I don't know. I feel like everyone was just like, I mean, people who had been to an Olympics before were kind of like, buckle in, the games are going to come quick. And I was like, okay, understood. And then it started happening. I was like, yeah, they do come fast. But I think really it was just like, okay, game finishes, like, recover, eat as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like, get in the ice bath after every game, get treatment as much as you can the next day and then the day after that leading into the game. But yeah, I think it was just kind of like, like, here we go, we have to go again. And I think we did a good job as a team of, like, when we needed to take a breath, like, it's like, you can't be on 100 at all times. So, like, right. If there was a day where it was like, okay, the energy's lower, like, okay, we'll meet each other where we're at. And then for games, we knew it was time to get up and time to go again.
For sure. Which was harder, like the mental aspect of the tournament or the physical?
Probably the mental, yeah. I don't know. The physical was really hard too.
I know, I'm asking you impossible questions. You're like, both.
I think, like, the extra times, like, that was hard. But I don't know, I feel like once the games would start, we just had this, like, belief within the group that it didn't feel like you were doing it alone or, like, that it was hard just by yourself. It was like, we're, like, attacking this together. And I think that, like, unity really helped. Just like if one person was, like, you could tell, like, having, like, a little bit of an off game, like, someone else was picking them up. And I think we took turns, like, being that person who lifted the energy.
Yeah, that's, like, always, I think, the first thing that makes you feel like you're going to really win the whole thing is when you really have that sense of community within the team. And the team is so competitive all the time leading up to the tournament that when that competitiveness almost becomes secondary and it's, like, truly a team, I feel like that's, like, the key ingredient to winning. In the gold medal match against Brazil, Mal Swanson scored a goal in the 57th minute. And so I want to know, like, the clock's ticking down, the final whistle blows, and you realize you've won a gold medal. It must have been such a blur, a whirlwind of emotions. When did it really sink in, and what did it feel like?
I just remember the game ended, and I, like, after every game, I go back to the goalkeepers. I was, like, turned around and, like, tackled Alyssa. And then, like, we just kept saying to each other, like, oh my gosh, we won. Like, we won. We kept, like, the whole time standing by the medal ceremony, like, getting our medals. Like, we just kept, like, saying it to each other, like, I can't believe we won gold. We won gold. Like, I think we were all just kind of in that, like, state of, like, disbelief and, like, just, like, the relief and, like, the release that, like, the tournament was over and, like, we had ended with gold was so incredible. Because I think after every other game, you're like, we won, yes. But then you're like, okay, one more game, let's go. Like, and I think to have it, like, actually be over and have that, like, feeling of joy was just incredible.
Oh, that is so incredible. Well, earlier this year, Naomi, you wore the captain's armband for the U.S. women's national team for the first time during a friendly against South Korea. It was Emma Hayes' first game coaching the U.S., and nobody was surprised that you were past the armband in the game. You've already established yourself as such a huge part, obviously, of the present, also of the future of this team. So what did it feel like for you to get past that armband during the game for the first time ever? What was going through your mind?
I don't know if I thought about it that much, like, in the moment, but I think after, it was definitely, like, I think kind of surreal. Like, it's obviously such an incredible honor, and I think the legacy of the team and, like, the captains that have been on the national team have been such, like, impactful players and people, and I think, you know, I think to wear the armband is such an honor for this team, and to be, like, given that trust too was really special for me too. So yeah, I think it was just, like, a really cool moment, and, like, Lindsay was like, here you go, Nay, like, you deserve this, or something like that, and I was like, oh, like, thanks, Linz. And I think, like, yeah, just to know that my teammates trust me means the world.
That's really incredible. I mean, I know you have experience as a captain before at Stanford and even in the league with San Diego. I want to know, like, how you're thinking about leadership and what qualities you want to emulate. And are there any other former U.S. Women's National Team captains that you really look up to and idolize?
For past captains, like, Lindsay obviously has done an incredible job. And also, like, coming into the team with Becky was, like, really amazing to see the way she leads and the way she, like, looks out for people. And it's just, like, I don't know, just, like, a good person. And I think having that, like, the qualities of just being a good person and having good character as a leader is so important. And I think, yeah, that's something I've seen within the team since I've been in it. And I think, you know, going back before me, I think just seeing how inspiring those players have been and how much of an impact they've had, like, beyond the game of soccer is really special. So I think, like, yeah, it's just, there's just been such an incredible line of captains on the national team. Yeah.
I know, it really is such an impressive group of people who have played that role. When this episode comes out, we'll be in the midst of a FIFA window with the U.S. Women's National Team, and then there's another international break at the end of November. But in this October window, there are 3 games here in the U.S., and there's so much to celebrate. Kelly O'Hara's retirement game is on the 27th. Rose Lavelle's 100th cap is on the 30th. It sounds like it's going to be such a fun camp. Do you think that this camp will be a celebration, or will it feel like camp? Like, what are you expecting?
I don't know. I hope we celebrate.
I know.
Like, a little.
I know. I hope so too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll be normal camp. Like, we'll prepare for the games, but I think, you know, we'll also take a moment to celebrate, like, the incredible accomplishments of, like, Rose, Mal, like, Kelly, like, such a legend. And yeah, I think, like, give them their flowers, like, give them their moments, because they deserve it. I love celebrating anything, so especially those humans who are, like, so incredible. So I think it'll feel like both. I think there's obviously going to be, like, that, you know, like, okay, what are we going to take from the Olympics, like, the good, the bad, you know, like, everything. But yeah, I hope we celebrate.
Oh my gosh. Well, enjoy it. I do have really fond memories from our victory tour. Like, those camps and those games do feel like such a celebration. It's really fun to see the fans who are just so proud of you and love you so much. So I really hope that you all enjoy it. I'm actually coming to the game on the 30th for Rose's 100th cap.
Yay!
So I'm very, very excited to be there and celebrate Rose. I want to pivot to San Diego just quickly. I know it's been a tougher year this year with some managerial changes, but then in September, Alex Morgan announced her retirement, and you and Alex just seem to have such a wonderful relationship off the field. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions about her. You were there at her last game. What was it like to watch such a legend, an icon of the game, but also, like, beyond the game, walk off the field for the very last time?
It was so sad, but it was like bittersweet, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Alex is incredible. She's had the most amazing career. She's done so much on and off the field. Like, I don't know if there's, like, ever been a player like her. So I think, you know, for her to play her last game was, like, as a fan, I was like, oh, like, I'm sad. And then as a teammate and, like, a friend, I'm like, you know, it's hard not having her there every day, but she does come to all the home games still. So we still see her all the time. But yeah, I think, you know, it was just, yeah, it was bittersweet. Like, just, there's no one like Alex. So I'm going to miss her for sure.
I know.
I already miss her.
I know. I'm sure you do. Do you miss Charlie too?
Yes. Charlie on all of our away trips.
I know.
We see her. We see her at games too.
I know. I heard you ask in Alex's last press conference. You were like, Can Charlie still come on away trips? That was your big pressing question.
Yeah, I was like, we've got to ask the real questions here, people.
So you were teammates with Alex on both the national team and at San Diego. What have you learned from Alex, from watching kind of her wear all the different hats, carry all the different burdens, and carry all the different good things that she brought to our sport as well, in terms of leadership, in terms of being a role model? Like, what are some things that you learned from being so close to her?
I've learned a lot. I think just in like terms of like soccer, women's soccer, pushing it forward, I think just like, like never getting complacent with where it's at and like always knowing there's more room for it to grow. And I think she was a perfect example of that, and like all of the work she's done, all of the fights she's fought for so many people, and I think how she's kind of like used her platform and her voice for good. I think that's like something that she didn't have to do, but she really took it upon herself. So I think just using your voice for good and using that your platform is something that I've really taken from her. And then just like as a player, she's such a pro, and coming in my rookie year and like getting to be with her in club and national team, I think was great for me to just see like, okay, this is how it works. This is how I need to take care of myself. This is like how travel works, and like kind of like understanding like how to operate at the highest level for so many years, and like understanding what it takes to do that. Is something that I'm really grateful. Like I got to like kind of have a seat right next to her for that. So yeah.
That's really cool. I know. You're so complimentary of Alex. So I wanted to read you this quote that we found that Alex actually said about you. She said, "Then you look at Naomi Girma. I've never played with such a smart defender. She doesn't get herself in bad positions because of her positioning and footwork. She times her tackles perfectly. She rarely has to go to ground as a defender, which is very rare to see." Just hearing her speak so highly of you as a player, what does that make you feel?
Feels good. I think, I mean, it feels good for, one of the best forwards to think that I'm a good defender. And I think having a compliment from Alex is always great.
I know it is. I'm still waiting for one. My last real question about San Diego, your attendance at your home games in San Diego is one of the cumulative highest in the league each year. So I think I'm curious, like, what is soccer culture like in San Diego?
It's huge. I think from our first year, we've just had like such a buy-in from the city, and so many, like, I feel like so many different communities come out to support us. And I think it's just such I hear from people, like, they're like, games are so fun, like the energy's great, like our stadiums are awesome. And I think the city just loves soccer, and there's more coming now. So I think it's just been so great to have the support here, and it's only grown since we've been here. So I think it's just going to keep getting better.
That's so incredible. I think what has struck me the most in talking to you this interview is how with almost every question, you're kind of always bringing it back to the importance of like being a good person off the field. Like I have felt that as this theme running through this whole interview. And so I'm going to let you go, but I feel like I just wanted to say what I said at the beginning, like everybody I know speaks so highly of you, and you just seem so revered and respected. Like that came through so clearly in this. And so I'm really, really honored that we had this chance to speak. And it's also such an honor to watch you representing our national team. The idea that you're inheriting the responsibility to carry through that culture that you mentioned makes me really proud that it's getting passed down into the right hands. And like, I like trust you so much to continue representing the national team the way I felt it always should be. So thank you. And thank you so much for doing this.
Well, thank you. I always get so excited when you invite me on.
Oh my God, I'm so glad to hear that. Well, I hope that I'll see you during camp.
Yes.
I would love to say hi, and I'm really grateful for you for being here, and good luck with camp in San Diego.
Thank you. I'm excited to see you soon.
I know, me too. Thank you all so much for listening. Naomi is one of the sweetest people, and it's so amazing to me how beloved she is by all of her teammates and friends. I'm always so honored to get the chance to speak with her because she truly is one of those people that her values and her character shine through in every interaction you have with her. So I'm really excited to watch Naomi this week with the national team, including tonight, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS. We're playing Iceland. Don't forget to tune in to the Women's Game YouTube channel right at the final whistle to go live with Becky Sauerbrunn and me. Next week's guest on Friendlies is Angel City forward Sydney Leroux. I just spoke with Sid the other day, and we had a really incredible conversation about motherhood and the balancing act of playing professional soccer with kids. I'm really excited for this one, as I think Sid addressed a lot of important issues that are prevalent right now in women's football. All right, everybody, big week, as I mentioned at the top of the pod, so please make sure you're following along with the Women's Game on social media, Women's Game MIB on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. We'll keep you updated on all of our content that we have coming out. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you soon.